Well, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. My name is Louie, and I hope you're having yourself a fantastic day. Today, I want to take a look at the overall TCG market. I want to ask kind of a new question. Is this a good time for local stores, for people who are trying to create a business around trading card games, whether you be a prosumer and you're kind of just dabbling your foot in selling things, all the way down the road to somebody who wants to open up a local card store? We are currently in an absolutely crazy bull market where things are just selling like insanely. We're going to go through and talk about some of those things. I want to ask this question: does that make this a good time to get into the fold, to start trying to get access to distribution, to start trying this endeavor of selling cards, whether that be online or at a retail space? So that's just kind of what I wanted to hop into today. A lot of great conversations coming from Collecticon in Cleveland, talking to some other people that I don't typically get to interact with, because typically my interactions are so Magic the Gathering focused, but learning how they run their businesses, I wanted to share some of the conversations and the thoughts with you. So first and foremost, how this came about: Final Fantasy collector boxes are absolutely on a tear. I mean, still, I know we talk about every day in the video, it's not just the price that is high. The price is high. It's sitting at like $1,200 after fees and taxes and all that stuff. The price is insane. But what's way more insane than that is 58 boxes a day are selling on TCG Player. Absolutely wild amount of velocity of sales. And everyone at the convention, we were talking about the prices and, do you think prices are going to hold and that kind of thing. I said, what's crazy to me isn't the price. What's crazy to me is how many people are comfortable buying the boxes at that price, and how easy it is to sell the cards at that price, and how easy it is to, a lot of the boxes that you would trade for or pick up or do whatever in a market at $1,200 sell maybe once, maybe twice a day, a week, whatever. Even the next popular one, right? Like Lord of the Rings, this is the special, collector edition version, a little bit more expensive, but the rate of sale is atrocious compared to Final Fantasy. Absolutely. One hasn't even sold this month compared to Final Fantasy. Probably 250 boxes sold on TCG Player already this month, and it's July 3rd. So the velocity of sales on this show how absolutely hot the market is. And it's not just slowing down with Final Fantasy. Even Edge of Eternities, at the current rate of sale and at the current pre-order price, significantly higher amount of pre-orders on TCG Player than typically happen this kind of early and at these prices for a market. People are excited about Magic the Gathering. People are excited about the new products, and they are picking up the products no matter the price. I'm just trying to paint you the picture of where we currently are. We, months ago, a year or two ago, we never would have dreamed about this kind of velocity of sales on Magic the Gathering products and that kind of thing. Then, of course, we can also get into like dual lands. I always kind of use dual lands to say this is where the market is. And you can see we are, over the last 6 months, significantly up 12% on these. I'm just using lightly played just as an example, but the Plateau up like 12% over the last couple months. Underground Sea up 5% over the last 3 months. If you switch that to 6 months, up 5%. These are all just lightly played, just kind of painting the picture for you. Volcanic Island, a more expensive of the card. If you switch it to 6 months, you're up about 2%. You can see the charts, like things are moving and selling. The Tropical Island is kind of the outlier. Actually, if you back it up to 6 months, still up by 6%. Tundra up again. If you just look at the market, everything is moving. It doesn't matter if it's vintage old Magic cards like dual lands, or if it's new, not even released product like collector boxes. So what does that mean for the overall market, and if you were to take yourself and decide to start a business? Well, first off, it means that it's harder to get access to distribution. It's harder to get access to the overall product at those kind of lower prices and whatever. This was a big conversation we had with a lot of people, because we had sealed product and they were trading stuff to get sealed product as another business at Collecticon. And it was baffling to me to see people struggle through and say, man, I've been trying to get access to distribution for months. I've been trying to get there and it just doesn't happen. And this is why in a market like this, everybody comes out and says, I want to start a game store. I want to do this. I can do it. I can handle it. I can do whatever. But what you don't understand is how difficult it is in a market like this to get started. For us as a perspective, we spent like 3 or 4 years in a much different market. It was easy to get Pokemon product. We'll get into Pokemon product in a second. There were boxes, Scarlet Violet base boxes. I was buying for $97, $98, $100 a box from distribution, and the market price was $92 a box. Just to grow our allocations, to continue to kind of play the game at being able to have distribution. And that, in my opinion, is a much better time to start a business, to start having access to distribution, because it's easier to grow your account. It's harder to sell the thing, but it's easier to buy the thing, and it's easier to get yourself started in that world. And so if you are somebody who's thinking about this, if you're somebody who's thinking, hey man, this is what I want to do, I beg you to ask yourself a question. Are you saying that you want to do that because the market is going so well? Or are you saying you want to do that because you actually want to do it? Are you saying you want to do it because you actually do enjoy the idea of having a card store and that kind of thing? I think a lot of people get stuck in this trap, the market trap, where things are going really, really well. And you can get in here, you can sign the lease, you can buy yourself a bunch of stuff and product to get going. And then all of a sudden the market is going to turn. I would say we're probably right in the middle of the absolute home run bull market. I would say right now, if you take a look at everything, Pokemon, Destined Rivals boxes, like a Pokemon box, the new release selling at $240, $50 is crazy. But the velocity of sale is 77 boxes a day. Look at this, 77 boxes a day on TCG Player selling at twice MSRP. 2 years ago, I would be laughed out of town if I tried to sell a booster box at MSRP. So people would walk into the store and be like, absolutely not. Give me booster boxes for $110. That's what the expectation was 2 years ago for Pokemon. Now it's not the case. So I guess we're about halfway through this market. There will be a day. There will be another day when Pokemon figures out their print runs and then the market cools down. There will be another day where the new release is $110 a box on the secondary market. That will happen again. And so I think if you're considering, Surging Sparks, another thing, it's 16 a day. It's still, decent velocity of sales at $250. Now these just got a big reprint, which is another thing. Everybody always wants the product when nobody has the product. As soon as everybody has the product, nobody wants the product. It's kind of the way that works. But I beg you to ask this question. If you're interested in this, how do you stay excited when the market isn't hot? It's really a question I ask myself all the time. It's like, I have to figure out, let's ignore this little thing that keeps popping up. It's automatic. It does it. I have to figure out how to stay excited in 2 years when things aren't hot. You have to figure out how to scale and grow when things are hot. Right now, it's super nice. Like right now, the scaling and growing is like, take some, sell some stuff that's been sitting there. Slabs we have that, were $100 slabs 2 years ago when we bought them and nobody wanted them. And now they're way more expensive. And it's just like, okay, you take your wins when you can take your wins. And then you get prepared that in the future, you'll have to take losses. But this is my fear for a lot of people. And right now I know that everybody is starting a store. I know this because I talked to a bunch of people at Collecticon. My fear is all these people who start a store when the market is super hot and they're putting in orders for Destined Rivals or the new black and white set for Pokemon of 1,000 booster boxes, and they're going to get allocated to 6 or 10 boxes. What happens when the market turns and you ask for 1,000 boxes and then you get 800 boxes? And then every store gets 800 boxes and the market has completely shifted. And now all of a sudden, nobody wants those boxes. That is the risk, I think, of starting a store right now in the craziness. I know and have the customer base and the whatever, being a store for 4 years, how many boxes I'm going to get realistically. and how many boxes I can realistically move. Right now it's crazy, and I think a lot of people can move 800 boxes of Destiny Rivals tomorrow. It wouldn't be hard. It's only 10 days worth of sales on TCG Player. It's not hard to move that much product right now. But when everybody has that much product, and all of a sudden the market shifts, that's the fear. So if you're debating whether or not you want to get into this kind of prosumer, consumer, selling things online, or opening a store and going down the rabbit, trying to open a physical brick and mortar store, ask yourself that question. Are you still going to want to do it when the market's not hot? That's the conversation I wanted to have today. I don't know. It's hard, man. It is so hard to figure out this market. This is one of those markets where, like, it's going to end, and at some point stores are just going to get wrecked. And like, how do you as a store make sure you don't also get wrecked is the question right now. I think we're still a long way away from it. I think at the end of the day, like, there's still quite a while of this kind of great market. The Pokemon 30th anniversary is huge. I think Magic just hasn't put out a bad set in quite a while. Even their bad sets are decent sets. But at some point, the tides will turn, and how do you get caught? How do you make sure you don't get caught? And that is important. Have yourselves a great day. Be kind to the people around you, and we'll see you again next video.